It will also host the beach volleyball competitions of the 2012 Summer Olympics. Temporary courts and seating will be installed for 12,000 and 5,000 spectators. Whitehall is a road in Westminster running from Trafalgar Square to Parliament Square. Along this road there are several ministries, so the name Whitehall is frequently used to indicate governmental administration. In the middle of Whitehall is the cenotaph, the principal war memorial in Britain, and the site of the annual memorial ceremonies on Remembrance Sunday. The Palace of Westminster, where Parliament has met since the 13th century, has 3 towers. The most famous one is the Clock Tower, where the great bell, Big Ben, strikes every quarter of an hour. The palace was built in the Middle Ages. The oldest part of the palace, the only section that survived the fire of 1834, is Westminster Hall. Its walls were built in 1097. It was used as a law court, and it saw several notable trials, including that of Sir William Wallace, the famous Braveheart, in 1305, the Gunpowder Plot conspirators, 1606, and King Charles I, 1649. The present building is in a striking neo-Gothic style, rich in decorations, pinnacles and turrets. In the garden in front of the Houses of Parliament stands Westminster Abbey, which has represented a unique site for British history since Edward the Confessor in the 11th century. It has been the setting for every coronation since 1066 and for numerous other royal occasions. The present building dates back to the 13th century. The Abbey contains some 600 monuments and wall tablets, the most important collection of monumental sculpture anywhere in the country. And over 3,000 people are buried here, including the unknown warrior, whose grave, close to the west door, has become a place of pilgrimage. The lower part of the facade is in Gothic style, as it was built in the 14th century, but the 2 towers were added in the 18th century. British Airways London Eye, rising to 138 metres above the ground, is the world's tallest observation wheel. When the air is clear, you can see up to 25 miles around. It was built in 1999 as part of the celebrations of the new millennium. The BA London Eye is not far from Westminster Bridge. About 2 centuries ago, William Wordsworth wrote a sonnet about London seen from this bridge. Time has passed, new buildings have been erected, but the magic of the scenery is the same. Dull would he be of soul who could pass by a sight so touching in its majesty. This city now doth like a garment wear the beauty of the morning. Silent, bare ships, towers, domes, theatres, and temples lie open unto the fields and to the sky, all bright and glittering in the smokeless air. Between Westminster Bridge and Tower Bridge, there are 6 other bridges. The first is a railway bridge going into Charing Cross Station, then Waterloo Bridge near the Royal National Theatre, Blackfriars Bridge and the new Millennium Bridge opened by the Queen in 2000. It runs from St Paul's Cathedral and the Tate Modern Gallery. It is one of the most popular ways for people to cross the Thames, as it affords delightful vistas across the old city of London and St Paul's huge dome floating high above the office blocks. Ships come up the Thames, and 2 ships are always there. One is HMS Belfast, now a museum, and the other, the Golden Hind, is a replica of Sir Francis Drake's ship. Tower Bridge is not very old. It is near the Tower of London, and that's why it is called Tower Bridge. It is one of the most famous sights in London, and perhaps because of this, some people think that it is London Bridge. It seems that even the Arizona billionaire who bought London Bridge thought of buying this more picturesque bridge. Construction started in 1886, and the bridge was opened in 1894. The tower is a complex of several buildings surrounded by defensive walls and a moat. It was a fortress, a royal palace, and a prison, particularly for high status and royal prisoners, such as the princes in the tower and the future Queen Elizabeth I. The Tower of London was founded in 1078 when William the Conqueror ordered the White Tower to be built. In the 12th century, King Richard the Lionheart enclosed the White Tower with a curtain wall and had a moat dug around it filled with water from the Thames. Later the tower became a major royal residence and remained one until the time of Oliver Cromwell. In the evening, London lights up. London Bridge becomes magic in red light. The outline of the Swiss Tower, the Gherkin, seems like a rocket ready to leave. Even a station like Charing Cross becomes imposing and attractive. London's wonderful immensity consists in the multiplicity of human habitations which are crowded together, as Dr. Johnson said more than 2 centuries ago. He also added, "When a man is tired of London, he is tired of life, for there is in London all that life can afford."